If you're going to be a buyer in this market where prices will not drop and interest rates remain high, you're going to be patient in finding the one, the home that matches much of what you're realistically looking for. How is that impacting the market, and what can you as a buyer or seller do to make the most of the current environment? Hey everyone, Ryan Haarer here, talking all things Denver. I am also a local realtor, so if you have questions about buying or selling in the Denver metro area, I of course would love to help. Call, text, or email anytime. My contact information is in the description below. All right, let's get into it. In this video, we will take a brief look at the very latest numbers and try to understand what it means for the overall housing market. Then we'll look at how buyers are responding and what they can do to maximize their time in the market. And then we will shift to sellers and discuss how they can appeal to those buyers and ensure they get the most money for their home when it sells in the back half of 2023. I'm recording this in July of 2023, about halfway through the year. If I were to use one word to sum up the market so far in 2023, I'd use the word slow. Compared to the previous 2 years, there are far fewer homes on the market with far fewer closings. Why? Interest rates were at record lows in the last couple of years, flooding the market with buyers trying to take advantage of getting a mortgage for really cheap. A low interest rate meant lower monthly payments, and now that rates have doubled from just a year ago, those monthly payments have certainly shot up, making it more challenging for buyers to achieve their real estate goals. Not to mention, many homeowners refinanced in recent years, and until rates come down, many of them will be unlikely to list their home for sale, which in turn has limited the inventory or number of homes for buyers who are in the market to choose from. Here's the current market by a few basic metrics. The average home price in the 11-county Denver metro area is now $713,000. That's a 2% increase from the previous month, and prices are down about 1% in most price points from a year ago when home prices really peaked, despite some predicting a massive drop in home prices. Now, that just isn't going to happen in this market, so don't think that home prices are plummeting anytime soon. I won't overwhelm you with numbers, but a few more I think are pertinent to this conversation. Homes are spending an average of 23 days on market, though as you will hear in a bit, there are certain types of homes that are selling much, much faster than that. Finally, there are about 2,000 less new listings last month compared to a year ago, with about 1,300 less closings compared to a year ago, with homes closing, on average, at about 100% of list price. Point being, while there are less people in the market, we still don't have enough homes to match the demand, and that's keeping home prices from selling well below their list price. In fact, many sellers are getting exactly what they listed for, assuming they priced appropriately and do what they need to properly prepare the home for marketing and for sale. So how have home buyers been responding to this housing market, and what can they do to win if they're still in it? First, they are much less willing to get into bidding wars, which is why the closed to list price ratio is at 100% and not 102% like a year ago. Buyers may be willing to go up against one other offer, but not 5. Given that it's costing buyers more to buy right now, not just in the purchase price, but more apparently in mortgage rates affecting monthly payment amounts, there's much less willingness to buy a home that needs money poured into it. So while each buyer is different, it's safe to say that many buyers want turnkey homes with little to no work needed, and they are having to exercise extreme patience to get that, given that so few homeowners are listing their homes right now. So here's how those buyers can make the most of the market. First of all, figure out your finances. There are ways to work with the higher rates. Check in with a couple of lenders to not only compare rates, but also get advice on how you can drive down costs without having to drop too much in home price. Next, if you can, buy yourself some time. We don't want to be looking for a home with just a month to spare before your rental expires. If you can, shoot to start looking for a home 2 to 3 months before you have to move. You'll probably look for a home for 2 to 4 weeks, be under contract for 2 to 4 weeks, and it's always nice to have a bit of cushion to move. Finally, and this is a big one, be prepared to jump when you see the home you want. When I work with buyers, we spend lots of time before even seeing a home in person talking through the must-haves. Dial in your ideal location, what you can and cannot live without. And then when the ideal home hits the market, make sure you've already discussed with your realtor what it's going to take to win that deal. Remember, there's an inventory shortage. When great turnkey homes hit the market, there's a good chance more than one buyer will want it. So how should sellers respond? Sellers, you still stand to do very well when you sell, assuming you've been in the home for at least 2 years. But keep in mind that you may not see a wild bidding war, and in reality, depending on the property, you may only see one offer over the course of a month. I have many resources and have done several videos on how to maximize your profit, but in this market, it's more important than ever to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. Don't get me wrong, we want to price your home to ensure you don't leave any money on the table, but if buyers see you've listed your home higher than any other home in the neighborhood in the last year, chances are they're going to feel it's overpriced and may even avoid going to see the home at all. If you do list at the top of the market, your home really needs to stand out. We're seeing older homes that are extremely well cared for with newer HVAC systems and roofs get a pass from buyers simply because the kitchen is dated. Now, it's important you hear me clearly on this. I am not saying to do a full-scale renovation. Actually, it may not be worth it to do any renovations. You should make simple repairs that ensure a home inspection comes back as clean as possible. You should do a deep clean, declutter, have your realtor go above and beyond to market your home. But even with all of that, you may see your home hang on the market for a few weeks. Sellers also need to exercise patience. And being on the market a few weeks, that's okay. That's all part of our housing market normalizing. The homes that are selling in a weekend are not only turnkey, as in it needs no repairs, but they also have updates. Newer kitchens and bathrooms, more modern layouts, and you'll need to consult your real estate agent to determine what, if any of that, is necessary to complete yourself. Most of the time it's not. Building out a new kitchen takes a lot of time and money. There are buyers out there who will be happy to take your home so long as the pricing reflects the work a buyer may want to do. In closing, it hasn't been a particularly busy year in real estate, but that's okay. 2023 is a year of redefining the market. Remember, the last 2 years were wild and unsustainable with interest rates lower than we may ever see them again. Now we're settling into a new normal. The question is, are you prepared to take advantage of it? Have questions about this idea or the Denver area market, thinking of making a move or buying in the next year? Let's do a strategy session. My contact information is below. Reach out, we'll set it up, and I'll see you on the next one.